Well, good morning, Virginia, and congratulations on making it to Monday's contest. I am so very pleased to be with all of you and to see you so well supported by friends and family behind you. My name is Anthony Arapino. I am an environmental attorney in the state of Vermont, and I am pleased to be judging with a distinguished panel today, and I'll ask them to introduce themselves to you.
Hi, I'm Pat Long, and I'm a retired Superior Court Commissioner from California.
My name is Joe Stewart, and I'm in the Political Science Department at Clemson University in South Carolina. And again, let me add my congratulations also.
Good morning. We are Unit 3 from Maggie Walker Governor's School in Richmond, Virginia. We are all seniors. My name is Jocelyn Powelson.
My name is Kimberly Quick.
My name is Stage Davis.
And I'm Kyle Herman, and this is our coach, Mr. Matt McGuire.
Excellent. Well, Virginia, being that this is the third day of the competition and they gave you 3 questions to prepare, I'm sure you know that we're on question 1, but for the benefit of others in the room who may not be as familiar with it as you are, I'm going to read the question, and then we'll look forward to your prepared response and our discussion to follow. Question number 1. An American scholar claims that, quote, because democracy is a government by persuasion and deliberation, it implies the existence of what in the British tradition is known as the loyal opposition. So long as the opposition is attached to the fundamental principles upon which democratic government is based, organized opposition to the prevailing government is not only legitimate, but essential to its proper functioning. Do you agree or disagree, and why? How would you describe or define loyal opposition, and how would you distinguish it from obstructionism? What purposes should loyal opposition serve in a democracy? You may begin.
The United States Constitution neither encouraged nor provided for political parties within the government. Throughout time, however, the concept of deliberation in a multi-party system has become a cornerstone of contemporary democracy and thus has been adopted as a political necessity in our constitutional system. While one of 2 parties typically controls Congress, the opposing party holds the position of the loyal opposition, a concept stemming from British parliamentary tradition. The loyal opposition provides constructive opposition to the majority party in order to responsibly test all of its proposals and produce ideas. Loyal opposition in Britain is provided by the party out of government as a challenge to the policies of the controlling party and as a source of productive civil discourse and deliberation. Though vocal about their varying ideology, this opposition supports the existing regime, wishing to improve policies for the good of the entire nation. Similarly, in the American presidential system, loyal opposition acts as an extra constitutional check on government and majority power.
However, loyal opposition in the parliamentary system differs significantly from its counterpart in the American presidential system. While the parliamentary version is far more symbolic than productive, political opposition in Congress has real power to thwart, modify, or delay legislation. Unlike in the British government, where the Prime Minister is a member of Parliament, opposition in the United States can come from Congress toward the President in a divided government. While the parliamentary system thrives on efficiency, our system operates on deliberation. The term then must be redefined for use in an American context. Separation of powers in the first-past-the-post electoral system strengthened the impact of opposing parties while encouraging a 2-party system. Historically and currently, the minority party has struggled with their proper role in democracy, often straddling a thin line between ethical but vigorous opposition and mere political obstructionism.
2 primary factors distinguish between these behaviors. Firstly, obstructionists engage in tactics that they deem illegitimate if used against them. Failing to provide an honest assessment of the other party's political powers, obstructionist actions disrespect the rules of political engagement and representative democracy. In 2003, for example, Senate Democrats filibustered the confirmation of Miguel Estrada to the U.S. Court of Appeals, though Republicans maintained that the practice of judicial filibusters was inappropriate or even unconstitutional. However, many of the same Republicans threatened filibusters against current judicial nominees such as David Hamilton. Secondly, obstructionism seeks to advance politics over policy. That is, it is more concerned with re-election gains than the advancement of the national interest. Demonizing the opposing political party, deliberately misrepresenting legislation, or casting votes against bills that are otherwise uncontroversial are all examples of this form of obstructionism in action. This behavior undermines citizens' faith in government and makes reaching compromises increasingly difficult.
Loyal opposition in a democracy should seek to represent the views and varying ideologies of the people, while respecting the government that the people created and continue to endorse. It is appropriate, even essential, to openly and enthusiastically oppose policies with which they disagree. But at times, it is better to forge compromises which advance the greater good. During World War II, several prominent Republicans accepted appointment to key cabinet positions under Democratic President Franklin Roosevelt to promote national unity above their own political interests. The relationship between Democratic President Johnson and Republican Senator Everett Dirksen led to the passage of key civil rights legislation, despite the political risks taken by the senator. There can be neither persuasion nor deliberation in discussing only one viewpoint. Loyal opposition, then, is a valuable part of American culture and government. So long as politicians prioritize national advancement over political advantage, loyal opposition is both legitimate and essential to the proper functioning of government. Thank you, judges. We are now ready for your questions.
Thank you very much. In your opening presentation, you noted correctly that the Constitution does not provide for political parties, but I think there are many places in the Constitution where we see the framers' value of the concept of loyal opposition. Could you discuss some of those constitutional elements with me?
I think that we definitely can see that the Founding Fathers, foresaw that political parties would eventually arise, especially as Madison notes that there will be factions at some point. I think that one of the main reasons that one of the main ways they tried to eliminate this potential threat is by making it so that legislation has to pass through Congress slowly. It has to go through the House of Representatives and the Senate.
One other example is James Wilson, in his documents outlining the reasons for the formation of the Constitution, cited the speech and debate clause, which shows the emphasis that the Founding Fathers placed on congressmen and representatives being able to speak freely in opposition without threat of being arrested or otherwise, they're having their rights otherwise infringed upon.
And we also see an emphasis on deliberation within the institutions of the government, particularly looking at the bicameral nature of the legislature and the different designs for the Senate and the House of Representatives. Obviously, the House of Representatives was seen to be a more populous body, while the Senate was more concerned with institutional memory and maintaining stability.
Later on, after the Founding Fathers, we see this anticipation of political parties in the 12th Amendment, which helped to sort out some of the issues that occurred during 1800.